Madeline Guanazzo here with Cuddlist and some of the core Cuddlists, some of our top professional practitioners, Cuddlist certified practitioners. Today we're going to talk to you a little bit about, as a client, how to make sure that your practitioner, your Cuddlist certified practitioner, is a good fit for you. We want to talk about how to interview somebody that you're contemplating doing a session with and investing in your self-care. So first, I want to talk a little bit about Cuddlist as opposed to professional cuddling in general. So Cuddlist is a brand name, and we have a particular style. We have a certification and a training program. Cuddlist sessions have a lot of qualities in common. Each practitioner is unique, but as a certified Cuddlist or a trained Cuddlist, they practice in a particular way. So all of that is on our site. I hope you're familiar with it. Please ask any questions you have about that. Occasionally, we have people who are Cuddlist certified who are not on the site. For some reason or another, they're not part of the membership, but they've been trained. If they are presenting themselves or promoting themselves as a Cuddlist, ask about their certification. You can always check with us by emailing info@cuddlist.com to verify their certification, or you can ask to see their certificate. And let's hear from these amazing practitioners what their advice is. Each one has some advice about, as a client, how to interview your practitioner. It looks like Janet Trevino wants to start.
Thank you. So I think that the really important thing for me that you matter as a client, that what your needs are, what you have to say, how you show up is really important. And so I'd like for you to feel comfortable with that practitioner and that they can demonstrate that something as simple as a phone call, that they initiate that opportunity to speak with them, that you're able to communicate, that they can communicate back what's true about them, what's true, you can talk to them. So that conversation is essential to feeling safe. And if without that, if they don't initiate a conversation, know that something may not be right.
Great, thank you, Janet. Michelle.
I would add to ask how long they've been doing this work. Not to say that a new practitioner isn't qualified to do this work, but it's a really good question about their history around the work. And if they've been doing it for a while, that they have the passion, like that's a good sign that they, they're still here and they love what they do, hopefully.
Thank you, good tip. Brianna.
Piggybacking on what Janet said about having a conversation with your potential Cuddlist, I think it would also help to have a conversation, whether that be over the telephone, over video chat, or even in person. You can learn a lot about a person in person as opposed to over the internet. So yeah, that would be my suggestion.
Great, thank you. Anna.
My piece is that you don't have to trust everything you hear and everyone you meet. It's perfectly okay, just like the Cuddlist or cuddling professional gets to say no to having a session with you, you get to say no to having a session with them. And you get to check in with yourself about what you really want, what you don't want, what kind of vibe you're getting with them, and if they don't meet your expectation in your conversation with them, there's absolutely no need to follow through. I would take a half hour and journal or talk to a friend before getting on the phone and just think through the things that you want out of a cuddle session and things you don't want out of a cuddle session, and see how they respond when you bring those things up.
Beautiful. Thank you, Anna. Cassandra.
And don't be afraid to look stupid. So this is a new industry. You've probably never hired a Cuddlist before. Nobody's expecting you to be a professional interviewer. Ask the questions that you're curious about. I love it when potential clients ask me things like, what should I wear? Right? Oh, wear soft clothes. Don't wear buttons and zippers. It's really comfortable that way. And it's okay when people ask me what I'm going to wear, right? That's not necessarily like some sort of risque off-topic question like, oh, is it going to be lingerie? No, it's not. It's going to be sweatpants. It's going to be pajamas. But it's fine to ask questions like that. Like, don't worry about being not cool. Just ask what you're curious about.
Love it. Thank you. John.
In the talking to your potential cuddlist, find out what their passion is, what drew them to being a cuddler, what their ideal client is, who they want to serve, why they're doing this. And I just echo what everyone else has said. Speak to what you want and see how they respond to that. Start a conversation about how the two of you together can create what you want, whether it's safety or exploration, how would feel best for both of you.
Yes, beautiful. Let's see, I'll bring this home by saying, listen to yourself. Do I feel safe with this person? That's the question you want to ask yourself. Do I feel safe with this person? And there's no one way to answer that question. Like, these are all great suggestions and there's no wrong way, you know, to screen your client. So ask yourself, and one way you can do that is, can I ask them a vulnerable question? Ask them something that is a little risky for you, not super risky, but a little risky for you, and see how they respond. Do they show up in a reassuring, safe way? That's a good litmus test for, do I feel safe with this person? The other thing I want to say is that the code of conduct, which click on the, you know, the code of conduct tab and familiarize yourself with that. You need to affirm that you've agreed to it whenever you request a session. That code of conduct applies equally to the client and the practitioner. It applies to them. So I always ask my clients, you know, what's your favorite code of conduct? I think that's a great question for your practitioner. What's your favorite code of conduct? You'll learn a little bit more about where they're coming from if you ask that question. So that's what we've got today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your self-care. Thank you for listening to yourself. And we wish you well.